goodness. I'm back. I'm back. Elaine, bonjour. Joe, Bettina, bonjour. How may I? Look at all you lifers showing up no matter what time it is, no matter what time zone we're in. Hi. All right. How are we? Can you believe and can you hear me? Let's do a sound check. Make sure I'm connected to the internet. Can you hear me and see me clearly? Let's start there. Adjust my seat. We're back in the States. We were up with the sunrise this morning. You know that feeling where you're like, oh, like Dave says this about me. I think it's a really, really good trait that I have. I really do love wherever I am. I really, really do. We're in Verona and I'm like, oh, I could move here. We're in Trieste. I'm like, oh, I could move here. I come back to the Outer Banks and I'm like, oh, I could move here. Back to the boat. Oh, I could move here. I could live here. I love the variety. I love the variety. Anyone else love the variety in your life? Or always have been like that. Always. And I've also witnessed inside of myself this beautiful dance of the variety and the adventure from a place of stillness versus, oh my God, I have to have something new, which is certainly a vibration I used to resonate on. Like I used to get bored very quickly and need something new versus a just natural expansion and extension and trust of the newness and what it does. Variety all the way. Yeah. All right. So it's been a while. I've missed you. I've missed you. And if you're in the States, tomorrow is Thanksgiving, which I'm looking at the calendar, like I can't even believe today's the 27th. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. And we're trying to figure a couple things out. So I'm going to invite you to stay really, really in tune, if you would like to, with Elegant Femme and what we have going on behind the scenes, because I've been reflecting a lot on what feels most congruent this time of year. We have a couple of things that we typically do. And I did the 40 days of gratitude for the first time 2 years ago. Since I had done it for the first time 5 years or 6 years before. So that doesn't make any sense. But we reran it, the original, for a long time. And then 2 years ago, I redid the whole 40 days of gratitude. It was incredible. I mean, we had thousands and thousands and thousands of people. So keep your eyes peeled about opening back up that energy and that frequency and bringing to the forefront. I love the 40 days of gratitude. I love what it pops open for us. In the last version that I did a couple of years ago in 2022, talked a lot about abundance and a lot about power, and really how the bridge and the link between gratitude and abundance and gratitude and power and gratitude and co-creation. Really, really beautiful. So keep your eyes. We're trying to work some things behind the scenes with that. And something I want to talk about today as we come on, Black Friday. Black Friday, really feeling into what feels congruent for us here at Elegant Femme, what feels congruent for me, the energy and the frequency of it, that it's from a space of real celebration and gratitude. And who doesn't love a good sale? I mean, I do, right? I love to shop. I love to buy, and any, congruent reason feels good, which is different than a crazy consumerism of I have to, just because I have to. That's not the energy or the frequency. So I've been really feeling into this a lot. And I made a couple decisions. I'm going to be going, if you're in Le Mystère, check your email. If you're in Le Mystère or Club or D'Or or Tout, check your email. Okay, I made a little sneak announcement yesterday. That being said, for all of you, if you Want to be in the know, please make sure you're on the Elegant Femme email list. If you're not getting emails from us, just email info@Elegant Femme. Some service providers are funky. So even if you've opted into our email list before, just if you haven't been getting emails, just maybe get a little peekaboo and let us know, because I'm going to be doing a couple Black Friday things. But guess what? Rosemary, you're here. A year ago today, it's so true. A year ago today, we were meeting in Scottsdale. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. A year ago today, which was, what did I say she was supposed to be? It was the final chapter event. And then God created something that's happening this March. Rose, I don't even know if you know about it, Rosemary. I don't know if you know about it yet, but if you're in toot, so give me a little peekaboo if you want to know. Here's what I was going to say, and then we're going to move in. For me, and this is really congruent with the energy of Chic 365. This beautiful, how do I want to say this? It's similar to what I was sharing before about an excitement and an expansion around of creation when we're talking about Black Friday or shopping, or right, that more that comes from a natural extension and celebration versus a have to or a push. So for me, one of the things I really learned and continue to learn, but I feel like it really dropped in for me during my IVF journey, was the cultivation of patience, the cultivation of anticipation, and how beautiful and powerful a waiting period can be, because in that space, anything is possible. So we have this tendency in our society to kind of rush, right? You know, like Halloween decorations come out in like August, right? Christmas decorations. Do you know what I'm saying? Like this Black Friday has been going on for like, I don't know, a week already. Like everything just kind of gets pushed a little bit quicker, a little bit sooner, a little bit like, and I don't love that energy. I don't love that frequency. Like imagine if Christmas, if there was like, you know what, you can have Christmas a week early. Would you be like, okay, or better yet, you can have Christmas every day for a week. You're going to wake up every morning. I mean, it might sound cool in the beginning, but would you be like, you know, kind of the building, the anticipation of the one day creates like a surge of beauty, of patience, of elegance. So this is a long story for me to say. Our Black Friday specials, wait for it, are actually going to be on Black Friday. We're going to extend them through the weekend. So it's going to start on Black Friday. Again, if you want to be in the know, make sure you're on the Elegant Femme email list. I'm going to give those of you that are a little preview and a little sneak peek and like a little timer, because there's going to be some super, super limited, super limited things. Some that I'm very, very, well, all of them I'm very, very excited about, but one in particular is going to knock your socks off. Yeah, and so Elegant Femme style. So with that, Father, Mother, God, thank you. In the season of gratitude, in the season of expansion and joy and receiving, we ask, as always, that only that which is in accordance with the highest good is present. We ask for an up level, that we ride on the frequency of gratitude, knowing that as we do, we receive and gift from a vibrational frequency that supports us in living, creating, receiving our beautiful soul-led life. We ask that on today's call that any withholding, any doubt, any comparison, any competition, any feeling of not good enough be easily and elegantly transformed. And that every single woman leave this call today remembering her value, her self-worth, and her connection with the divine. Knowing that oui, tout est possible. This or something even better for the highest good of all concerned. Amen. 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 This lighting isn't my favorite, but we're going to go with it. All right. So when we took our little pause, we were on lesson 101. God's will for me is perfect happiness. Does anyone want to drop anything in the chat around what has occurred for you? Any celebration or any wins since the last time we were together, almost a week ago? So Joe's here, Haumea's here, Bettina, Irene, Alexandra, Joe, I said you already, Rose. Okay, lesson 101. God's will for me is perfect happiness. Perfect happiness. I love you, Rose. You're going to freak. I don't know what your schedule's looking like in March, babe, but we should talk. All right. Okay, beauties. Lesson 102. I share God's will for happiness for me. Wait, lesson 5. Are you still in lesson 5? Because that layer 5 of E&E, because that makes perfect sense. Lesson 102. I share God's will for happiness for me. You do not want to suffer. You may think it buys you something. Listen to this, hear this. How many times have we been like, well, if I suffer, if I struggle, then somehow it makes that thing with which I desire more available. If I prove, if I put in the grit, if I struggle, if I suffer, then I can justify bringing the desire that I want into my life. Now, there's nothing wrong with working hard, pouring ourselves into something, but there is very much a difference between pouring ourselves into something from a devotional perspective because we're called. Let me see. Excuse me. Versus the proving energy of I have to work hard, I have to prove something, I have to make sure blood, sweat, and tears goes into this. Watch this for yourself because it can be very, very, very subtle. Thank you. It can be very, very subtle. Watch if you've ever said, and just pay attention to this week because it's such a default that we don't know. It's like, oh yeah, oh, I worked so hard. Oh, I had such a long day. Oh God, I had this and this and this today. Just watch yourself and the default that we have to prove and justify that things have been hard and that we've struggled. So you do not want to suffer. You may think it buys you something. You may still believe a little that it buys you what you want. Yet this belief is surely shaken now, at least enough to let you question it and to suspect it really makes no sense. It is not gone as yet, but it lacks the roots that once secured it tightly to the dark and hidden secret places of your mind. Today, we try to loosen its weakened hold still further and to realize that pain is purposeless. So we talk about this inside of Live You Fully. Has everyone here already taken Live You Fully? That's live with me now. And even in the replay, you can leave a comment. In Live You Fully, in the Frenchie module, I unravel completely the illusion and the misbelief that no pain, no gain. How many of us have heard this and been taught this? And even if we tell ourselves we don't believe it, that we're subtly, unconsciously buying into the idea that no pain, no gain. Has to be hard or I'm not going to get anything. Nico, when he had his calf surgery, which I can't even believe it was like last January. Is that right? I don't even think it's been a year. Oh my God, side note, the kid is actually playing soccer in France. Side note. Unbelievable. The doctor actually said, no pain, no gain. And I literally was like, this isn't the time, Tara. Like biting my tongue. Like it's really, just let it go. just let it go. Just let it go. For the moment, just let it go. pain is purposeless, without a cause and with no power to accomplish anything. It cannot purchase anything at all. It offers nothing and does not exist, and everything you think it offers you is lacking in existence like itself. You have been slave to nothing. Be you free today to join the happy will of God. For several days, we will continue to devote our periods of practicing to exercise planned to help you reach the happiness God's will has placed in you. That sentence says like 3 million things. God's will is in you. God's happiness is in you. The pain, the suffering, the sacrifice doesn't buy us anything at all. At all. Here is your home, and here your safety is. Here is your peace, and here there is no fear. Here is salvation. Here is rest at last. Begin your practice periods today with this acceptance of God's will for you. I share God's will for happiness for me, and I accept it as my function now. Then seek this function deep within your mind, for it is there, awaiting but your choice. You cannot fail to find it when you learn it is your choice and that you share God's will. Be happy, for your only function here is happiness. So you're going to hear it in a couple of different ways, right? I am the light of the world. That is my only function. That is why I came. Then it's like happiness is your only function, because it's all the same. It's all connected. Light, happiness, joy, peace, abundance. It's your only function. It's the same vibration, same energy. So again, be happy, for your only function here is happiness. You have no need to be less loving to God's Son than He whose love created Him as loving as Himself. Let's reframe this, shall we? You have no need to be less loving to each other. We have no need to be that less than loving to each other. Then God, whose love created us as loving as itself. Besides these hourly 5-minute rests, so remember, we're still honoring the 5 minutes an hour to the best of our ability with Spirit's assistance. So besides these hourly 5-minute rests, pause frequently today to tell yourself that you have now accepted happiness as your one function. See how that feels as it melts over you. Happiness is my one function. My function is to be happy. My function, which changes even if you were to say, maybe, I am the light of the world. That is my only function. If you really receive that, right, beautiful, powerful, but sometimes the ego can come in and be like, well, what does that mean? How are you going to share your light with the world? What are you going to do about that? How are you going to do that? How are you going to make sure your light impacts the entire world? Where if it's like happiness is my function. Have you ever heard, would you rather be right or happy? I think we've all heard this, right? Do you know that feeling inside where you're like, oh, I could really go there right now. I could really tell this person off. I could really justify my behavior. I could really prove to this person that they are completely wrong. Or I should just be happy. I could just like totally let it go. Watch this for yourself. Like we talked about this in Le Mystère a little bit, and you're going to see this more. Your remembering sequences are dropping this week, which is beautiful because now we've spent the entire month of November really in that frequency. Let me pause for a minute. That space inside of us that feels like we have to fulfill a certain purpose that God has given us that requires some massive thing in the outside world. the pressure we have felt with our purpose before. Like, oh, I just need to know. God, just tell me what my purpose is. Just tell me what it is and I'll do it, I promise. And we're expecting like some big mission. And it is a big mission. It's to be happy. Wait, that feels like too easy. But is it really? Yes, but it requires us to really let go of that constant addiction to verifying, justifying, validating outside of ourselves the permission we think we need to be happy. So play with this week. This is a perfect lesson for this week. Okay, so just that, I'll read that last sentence again. Besides these hourly 5-minute rests, pause frequently today to tell yourself that you have now accepted happiness as your one function. And be sure that you are joining with God's will in doing this. My nose is running. Honestly, I'm going to tell you something that's so funny. It's not really funny, but it's kind of funny. We spent thousands and thousands of dollars when we bought this house. I need to rework this in my brain because, again, I'm not my body. So I need to clear this. We spent thousands and thousands of dollars on feather down pillows. I had them shipped in from Himmler in Switzerland. Our couch. I'm fucking allergic to the feathers. I need to rework this in my mind. I've been sneezing since we got home. I love our house. It's beautiful. I've got to rework this situation. I'm not allergic. I'm not a body. I'm fine. I'm clearing this. Okay. On a random Frenchy note, you will have more perfume. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you, Rose Marie. Now we have another Rose. Rose Marie. Since you're in 2, just stay tuned, okay? I have some really, really big announcements for 2. And I'm going to share with you ladies first. Maybe. Just maybe. I might have something on my sleeve. Like literally, we have been absolutely sold out. Here's a tiny, tiny bit of behind the scenes with the perfume. Absolutely sold out. And the quality of the tuberose that I put in the Trois perfume became really, really hard to find, and I had to wait till I could find the right connection. So more to come. The difference between pain and the uncomfortable growth, which stretches. Yes. Not yet, but I will. And I've heard that all my life, like I have to suffer to get what I want. Yeah. So let's today, and Rose, good morning. Welcome. Let us today and this week, a couple of things. Regardless, if you're in the States, right, we have this natural like gratitude holiday with Thanksgiving, so it's up for us. But no matter where you are in the world, this energy and this frequency of gratitude, look, I know we've all heard it. It's like, oh, please do not tell me to have a gratitude list, for crying out loud. I get it. Have a gratitude list. And the Femme Flow List is a really beautiful way to incorporate gratitude daily with the AM and PM process. If you do not have the Femme Flow List, I strongly encourage you. It's the AM PM process that we utilize inside of Elegant Femme to create our beautiful life. It rides on the frequency of gratitude. It's not just reserved for a special time of year. It really is a lifestyle of walking through the world with gratitude and with grace. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. The one thing I always do on Thanksgiving, and I've done it for a long time now, is my 101 things that I'm so grateful and so thankful for. I'm going to be with you tomorrow. We're going to go. We're live tomorrow, even though it's Thanksgiving, especially because it's Thanksgiving. I'll be here tomorrow at 8 a.m. I'm going to encourage every single one of you to write your 101 things you are so grateful and so thankful for. Okay? If you're here and you're intrigued and called and you feel like this beautiful anticipation energy for Black Friday, make sure you're on our list, Elegant Femme list. Okay? If you're in New Mystère, we're doing a special call on Black Friday at 11 a.m. because I have a huge thing to share with you. If you're in the know with some of those things, I wouldn't wait. If you're not in the know, you're like, I want to be in the know, I'm in Toot or I'm indoor, I'm in the club, please just email info and we'll give you a little preview. Alrighty? All right, beauties, I will see you tomorrow. Ride on the frequency of gratitude. Remember that happiness is your only function. And I'm happy to be back stateside for a little bit, for a few weeks at least before we go back to Europe. So yeah, I will see you tomorrow on Thanksgiving. Mwah!